Okay, let's get this going, guys. Hey, everybody. Happy Memorial Day for those of you that are here in the States. I hope you guys had an awesome time just celebrating tonight. I hope you got to still do some fun stuff with your family and friends, all that. We had something small at our house. Hey, yeah, you guys can say hey in the chat. But yeah, we are super excited for this. And I just want to tell you guys, I'm so proud of all of you for getting on here when it is a holiday. I know there's so many people out there who would use that as an excuse to not get onto a team huddle and learn and grow, but you guys are a different breed. We are people who are made for more. We're going for more. We're going for promotions this month and no time to play around at the end of the month. So I'm so proud of you guys for being on here. For everybody that doesn't know, hey, my name is Jordan Splinter. I'm a Presidential Diamond, and I'm so excited for you guys to get to hear from two of my girls tonight. Steff Gomes, who is Diamond, soon to be Double Diamond, newly charted today. I'm so proud of her. And Kayla Darm, who is a Ruby, about to be Diamond as well, you guys. I'm so proud of both of them. And I just can't wait for you guys to hear their tips and just hear their journey through the business and what that's looked like for them. So we're going to be talking about posting. And you guys know that we are in a social media based business. So posting is such a huge part of what we do, especially when we're doing 100% social media and during everything right now where people aren't doing like pop-ups and things like that. So to get that down pat is obviously very important. We want to know how to post well. If you're new in the business, maybe you're looking at the person you enrolled with, or maybe you're looking at other leaders on the team and you're thinking, gosh, like how did they get there? Like, how do they post so well? How do they always know what to say? How do their posts look so good? Their pictures look so good and all those things. Well, I just want to be the first to tell you guys that when I started this business, my posting was terrible. It was absolutely awful. I was never really on social media other than to just watch family and friends. I wasn't big into posting or anything like that. And I joined with Brittany when she was, very early on in her business. And I just remember thinking, oh my gosh, like, she posts so good. Like her posts always drew me in. She was always very open and transparent and vulnerable and also talking about things that were making her life easier. And you guys, like when I got started in the business, my life was everything but that. It wasn't simple. It wasn't easy. It was full of stress. And I was so drawn so drawn to her posting and so drawn to just her simple way of life that it just, even with 4 kids at the time, like her life looked simple to me. That must tell you something. She was really good at what she did. And, my life was crazy. But yeah, we want to teach you guys how to be able to get there and what that looks like. So day one, when you start in your business, whether you just joined today, you're brand new, or you've been in for a while, maybe you've had a lull in your business and you haven't been posting like maybe you did at one time, or maybe you just want to up your game in your posting, whatever it is. Just remembering that the day you start this business is the day that your social media is open for business. And what I mean by that is your social media becomes your storefront, especially for us that we're 100% social media. So it is going to look a little bit different. We are going to be a little bit more conscious about things that we're posting on social media. We want to gain that trust with our network. We want to draw in the type of people that we want in our business. We want to draw in customers who are going to love their products and they're awesome to, work with. And we want to draw in business partners who are also awesome to work with. And that really comes so much from the way that we post, you guys, whether you realize it or not. Your posts send off a message to people, and that's what we're going to talk about a little bit. But once you get started in this business, you are officially open for business. So if you have not done your very first post yet to announce that you've started a business, definitely do that, because that is how you tell your people, hey, this is what I'm doing. And you just open your doors from there. Think of it as if you had a physical storefront. Like when you think about new places that open, they have these grand openings and they put up signs everywhere, like, grand opening, pre-grand opening, whatever. Like they are putting it out there so that people know to come to them. Otherwise, they have no idea. Like I have no idea that some mom and pop shop down the street is open because I didn't see anything anywhere. So make sure that you guys are putting that out there and letting people know that you have started your business and that you're excited about it, and get people excited to to follow you and to want to try your products and eventually do this business with you too. So from that point, what you want to do is you want to set a goal for yourself. And that can be different for each person. For me personally, and this is something that I learned when I got started in the business, is anywhere from 3 to 6 posts. And for me, that normally looks like 3 posts. That is my minimum. Like if I'm having a bad day, I'm like, okay, if I can at least get up 3 posts. And if there's days that I don't, maybe it was an extra stressful, crazy day, and I know tomorrow I'm going to pick up the ball and, you know, do better in that area. But when we set a goal for ourselves, when we set that minimum, that keeps your standards up so that you're not falling below that, so that days aren't going by where you're not posting anything. So set that goal for yourself. And for me, what that looks like is I'm going to have at least 1 personal post that has nothing to do with this business. It's going to be something about, you know, me and my husband, my kids, what we did that day, you know, whatever that looks like for you. And it's going to be 1 post about the business. And that's going to look like me just sharing, you know, trickling the business into my everyday lifestyle post and throwing the business in there and offering that business opportunity. And then I'm going to do at least 1 product post a day. So bare minimum, I'm at least still putting myself out there, you know, letting people see me, because that's why they follow my Facebook. People are nosy. They want to know what you're doing, even if you feel like your life is totally boring. Mine is not super interesting right now, but people are nosy, so they're going to follow you anyway. So you're going to get at least 1 personal up, 1 business, and 1 product. And if you do more than that, that is awesome. Like, yes, do it, go for it. Like, post your little heart out, but at least set a minimum for yourself so that even on your worst days, because you're going to have them, you're going to have days where you don't feel like getting up and doing this, your minimum is still going to be great. You're still going to get those 3 things out there, which are like the basics of our business. We're paid to, you know, get customers and get distributors and still be ourselves. I'm going to go back through the chat in just a little bit and see questions, just because it'll distract me a little bit if I'm trying to read those and answer at the same time. And then just remembering that you're going to get better with your posts. So maybe if you're not feeling super confident in them right now, maybe you see somebody else's and you think that theirs looks so much better than yours or whatever it is, you will get better with time. Like if you guys go back and look at my Facebook page, when I first joined 3 years ago, my posts are hideous. They're terrible. And that's okay, because I had no idea what I was doing, but I was doing it. I was moving. I was putting that forward motion there. I was ignorance on fire, and I learned as I went. And it was trial and error. But the biggest thing I can tell you guys is to find a few key top leaders that you can follow to copy the right cat, you guys. When I first got started, like I said, I saw Brittany's post. And once I got started in the business, I watched Brittany's page like a hawk. Like I saw her, okay, she's posting about, we didn't have coffee at the time, so she was probably posting about cleanse. Like, oh, she's posting about cleanse. Okay, I'm going to go do a post about cleanse. Like, you know, maybe not, I'm not copying and pasting it, but I'm watching to see what she's doing, because yes, like she just said, success leaves clues. And I wanted to be where Brittany was when I first got started in the business, obviously. So I watched what Brittany was doing and I was mimicking that. If I saw that she was putting up a business post midday talking about being with her kids, I was like, oh, I should do a business post right now because Brittany is successful and I want to be successful. So copy the right cats, you guys. A few top leaders that you can follow are obviously Brittany. You can follow me. You can follow Alyssa Marie. Cheyenne Knox is an awesome one that we're going to talk about in just a little bit with Kayla. Erin Tweed, and there's probably a few other ones. Those are my top ones. Watch and see what they're doing and get ideas. If you see a post that you really like, save it or take a screenshot of it and put it away so that you can have those ideas later. Watch how they're wording things. Watch how they are taking their pictures. Are their pictures super grainy, or are they clear and they're popping out and they're catching your eye? Are their posts salesy, or are they more personable? Like, look at different things like that, and that's what you want to model your posts after. And that consistency in that time is what's going to help you get better and better and better and better. I know my posts now look so much better than when I first started. And I know that, you know, a year from now, 3 years from now, they're going to look even better than what they do right now. So just that consistency and keep going with it. And then the next thing is, when I was writing this down earlier, the thing that came to my mind was decide what your vibe is. Okay. Decide your vibe and just stick with it. And what I mean by that is picking the pillars of your business, the pillars of you rather. What things make up who you are? Like when I think about things that I post about, it's my family, it's coffee, it's like my kids, it's trying to think of what else right offhand. I'm having a mental block right there. But pick those like anywhere from like 3 to 5 different things that make up you. Maybe you love animals. Maybe you love the beach. Maybe you play sports, or whatever it is, like whatever is unique to you. Pick those things, write down the things that you love. And when you're going to make your post, that is what your filter should be for what you're about to post on your social media. So for me, if I know that I want to be somebody who offers hope and encouragement to people, if you look at my Instagram, that's in my bio, that I'm offering hope and freedom to you, like to that person that's reading my bio. So what you're not going to see on my page is me posting negativity. You're not going to see me posting things that are foul or things that are, racial slurs or whatever. Like, it's not like, my filter is going to be what my pillars are. And before I post anything, I think, okay, does this go with my vibe? Does this go like with my pillars, or whatever you want to call it? So if you're somebody who's newer in the business, or maybe you've been in for a while and you've never taken a look at, those things before, you've never like sat down to think about, okay, who am I? Like, what do I like? What do I like to do? What things do I love? What do I want to post about? Sit down and do that tonight, you guys. And from this point forward, make a promise to yourself that everything I post is going to go through these filters, and that, if they are for it, I'm going to post about it. If they are against it, I'm going to put it away. So that may look like, if I'm somebody who is talking about, how much my faith is big to me and I love Jesus and all these things, I'm not going to go and post like super raunchy, nasty things on my Facebook. It's like, your people are not going to trust you. You're going to lose that trust so fast if you're going against those things that you're trying to preach. So, yeah, that's my biggest tip there, as far as like the type of things that you want to post about. And the reason that I say that, you guys, is because we want you to be who you are. You are unique in this business. You are not me. You're not Brittany. You're not your enroller. You're not Stephanie Dunn, the top #1 income earner. You are you, and you were made to do this business for you. So that's why we say we want you to be yourself, and we're teaching you how to trickle in the business and the products into what your life looks like. So yeah, just copy the right cat, follow somebody who inspires you, model your posts after theirs, and then just keeping your page clean. Keep it decluttered. I should be able to go to any of your Facebook pages right now and be able to scroll through and know what your pillars are right away. I shouldn't have to scroll down 5 minutes through memes and recipes and GIFs, and I don't even know what all they're called, like all the different things. I shouldn't have to go through all that to find out who Melissa is, who Monique is, or Bianca, or Katrina, or Amanda. I should be able to go to your page and see that you are a professional business owner, that your page is clean. I should know your pillars. I should know what you love, what you do on a daily basis, and I should feel warm and at home when I go to your page. Or maybe you're somebody who you bank on your funny, like you love to post funny things. I should know that as soon as I go to your page and scroll back through your last few posts. So just think about some of those things as you guys are going forward and making those posts from here. So okay, I'm going to stop talking. I'm so excited to pass this over, you guys. So Steff Gomes, she is a diamond leader on the team, like I said, about to be double diamond. And I'm so excited for you guys to hear just a bit of her story and how she came into the business. And what I love so much about what Steff is going to share with you guys is she came into the business during a really tough time in her life that was super unexpected, and started the business anyway. And then she still had ups and downs along the way. Like, just because we join a business and we have all these hopes and dreams doesn't mean that the bad, or like the thing that we're trying to get out of, goes away immediately. Like, it's a process. And what I love so much about Steff's story is that she still had to walk through that process and is still walking through it and still killing it in the business, you guys. So Steff, I'm going to pass it over to you and let you go ahead and share.
Okay. Hey, you guys. I'm Steff Gomes. I'm double diamond this month. Super excited about it. And so I have been in the business for about a year now, but my story actually really started with It Works kind of before. So my husband and I moved to Bangkok, Thailand in 2015, and we lived in Bangkok for several years. We had our kids there. We were teachers there. We loved it. And last February, we were expecting our baby girl, and about, I think it was like 2 days after I got out of the hospital, we found out that my dad had cancer. Long story short, he was misdiagnosed the first time that he went to the hospital. And when he finally went to the hospital, they basically told him that he had 12 to 18 months to live. And so I was running around Bangkok with my head chopped off, trying to get an emergency passport for us to be able to go home, because I was on maternity leave. And so I was able to get it, and my daughter and I would think I was like maybe a week or two postpartum with a C-section, flew from Bangkok to America, moving across the world, and ended up, my dad actually ended up having just 30 days. And so by the time I got back to the States, he was non-responsive. And so, sorry, I wasn't expecting to cry. He was non-responsive. And so basically I said goodbye to my dad, and he, I joined the business because we ended up not having any income coming in. And it was tough, we had 2 kids and no income coming in. And it was really tough because I don't have a very supportive family at all. And so, I started the business because I needed community mostly. And, not having income and having 2 kids in America is scary. Plus I never knew how to be a parent in America. So like I'd always parented in Thailand. And so, we came back here, and I was postpartum, I was grieving, I was, the executor for my dad's estate and planning a funeral and like doing all the things, and just decided to, throw something else on the plate. And so, when I started, I took off running really quickly. I went Ruby in a couple of weeks, maybe like a month or 2, and then went Diamond the next month. So I went Diamond in 3 months. And like Jordan said, it's not like, right after that is basically where like all the grief really hit me, because it really just like things finally started to settle down. Life kind of like really settled in, and all the grief and depression and all those things that come with grieving really started to set in. And so I've been at Diamond for about a year now, and I'm not mad about it, and I'm not upset about it, because I know that like this business and the personal development that comes with it is like what's helping me grieve and what's bringing me through this season, because I needed that for myself, and God knew that I needed that for myself. But one thing that I think is super important to understand when you start this business is that life is going to happen whether you're in this business or not. You're going to have unexpected things that come up in your business, and you're going to have to figure out how to get through them. And there were days where I like literally didn't even want to get out of bed to be able to like care for my kids, just because, the depression and the grief and everything like that. But posting through all of those things that happen are kind of like an outlet to escape all that's happening. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to portray this perfect life, because I have never had a perfect life. But when you're being relatable to people and opening up and being vulnerable about that, people connect with that and they respect that. And that doesn't mean that you're posting negatively, and it doesn't mean that you're posting the, profanity and raunchiness or whatever, but you're just opening up and being real and offering hope. And you're offering that, that just personableness that people can really relate to, because everybody's going through something. And people might be walking through a season and you don't even know it, and God's using you for that purpose. And so I think a lot of times we forget that like people want to see the realness, and people want to see you be vulnerable and open up, because that's what they relate to. And people will buy things from people they know, they like, and they trust, and they're going to come along on your journey with you. Like I just signed somebody today that I had no idea was following me. And they just mentioned how they've been following me the whole time in the business, and I had no clue. And so if I had not continued to post, and if I had not continued to be vulnerable and be real and share my journey through all of this, I wouldn't have had that person, you know? But one thing that I really like to do to be able to relate to people is I go hardcore in my videos. Because I heard Nina Moore say one time that the people that are watching your videos are window shoppers. Those people are constantly coming back and watching you. People are nosy, like Jordan said. They want to know what's going on in your life. They want to know what you're doing. They want to know what you're eating. Like, think about the people on YouTube that you watch. Like, these people are just opening up boxes. Like, they're opening up boxes. People are nosy. They want to know what you're doing. So I like to post in my stories about my coffee. I love coffee. Jordan and I were roommates in college, and we actually met on a bus. She told me she had coffee breath, and I was like instantly in love. And here we are slinging coffee together 13 years later. But so I post about my coffee every day, and I just, maybe like I'll have my face in there and I'll show about it, or talk through, you know, what the coffee is doing for me, which I think is super important. Like, whatever products you're posting about, you have to tell people why it's important, that, or what it's doing for you, because they don't know, maybe they don't know that the coffee burns fat, or that it's giving you like some crazy energy. You have to tell people why they need it. And so I do that in my stories, and I will stalk the heck out of people from my stories. Like, I can tell the same people that are coming to my stories time and time and time and time again, and I just stalk the crap out of them. But I also like to do some, I like to utilize some of the like the filters that are in Instagram. Like, I don't know what they're called, but they like morph your face into different like animals, and I just think that's hilarious. It's childish maybe, but it's hilarious. But people like to escape, and they like to see inside your world. And so doing those really dumb things like unboxing boxes, and like, they're not dumb, they're just like nonchalant things, you know, or doing those like funny face filters. Like, people want to see that kind of stuff. They're nosy. They want to see what you're doing in your everyday life. And so giving them just a little glimpse inside of your world, it goes a long way, because then you're becoming personable, and those people that you don't know in real life, you'll sign as distributors because they're going to trust you. So the other thing that I think is super helpful that can go a long way in taking your pictures is lighting. Lighting can either make or break your pictures. Like, if you can kind of see right here, like I have a light behind me, and if you're someone who's using like a preset or something like that, you have to make sure that you have the right lighting, because if you slap a preset over top of that, it's going to make your picture like really grainy. So think about the song like blinded by the light, right? So you want the sun to be like right in your face, because that's going to illuminate your face, and it's not going to create like a shadow. So if you can see, like, pretend the sun's coming from up there. If you're taking a picture, the sun's like right here. It's going to give you a really dark face, and nobody's going to be able to see your pretty smile. So always just make sure that the sun is right in your face. And I prefer not to take pictures in my house if I can help it. I have a really dark house, and the sun kind of like sets on like the corners of the house, so I don't have a ton of natural light. So if I do take a picture in my house, I'm always making sure that I'm looking out the window and that the sun is directly on my face. So remember, blinded by the light, you want to be blinded by the light. You want the light to be like in your face, and you're almost like, don't squint, but like look out the window and make sure that the light is setting like right on your face, because it's going to make it beautiful. So yeah.
Yes, thank you for sharing our love over coffee with everybody. No, I love that. And that was one tip that I wanted Steff to share about the lighting, because I remember hearing that when I first got started in the business. The house that we lived in also was kind of dark. And there's two types of people out there. People that'll say, oh, I can't do this business because I can't take good pictures because my house isn't pretty enough, or the light isn't good enough, or, you know, whatever. They're looking for all the excuses of why they can't be successful and do good posts. Or you can be the other type of person like Steff was saying, and, you know, look up how to get better lighting in your pictures in a dark house. Walk outside, go to the window. I know a lot of Steff's posts, or like in her stories, she walks outside and you'll see like, you know, the pretty scenery out there. It just switches it up a little bit, but be solution minded. Just because your house may be dark or you don't have like, you know, the best countertops or whatever like excuse you're thinking in your mind as to why you can't do this. Yes, somebody said buy a ring light. I have a ring light on right now and it's amazing. I love it. But yeah, be solution minded and get out there and switch it up a little bit. Find out how you can make those pictures pop and make the best of that situation. Okay, thank you for sharing, Steff. Okay, I'm gonna pass it over to Kayla, and you guys, I'm so excited for you to hear from Kayla. So I just love her to death. She is a younger girl on the team, younger than me, so I say younger. She is in college, and she just brings such a spunk and like joy to the team, and I just love it so much. But what I love about Kayla's story, and she'll share a little bit with you too, is Kayla's been in the business for a while too. And just until recently, she's just started getting that vision and just running after her goals and deciding, I'm going to go diamond. And she is running so hard for it, you guys. And it was just so much fun to see that switch happen in her mind that she's going to share with you guys about, and just see her go from, you know, kind of just cruising through the business to booming through the business. And she's signing distributors left and right. And I love watching her stories, and she's going to talk to you guys about that. But Kayla, I'm going to pass it over to you if you want to unmute yourself and just introduce and go ahead and start sharing.
Hey, I'm Kayla. We're in the car right now, so my lighting's going to be in and out. But I'm Kayla. I am a Ruby. I've been in the business for about a year and a half. I'm 19 years old and I live in Southern California, so that's a little about me. And I joined a year and a half ago, so I started as a customer. I started with our greens and our protein shake at the time, and I loved it. And I saw my enroller just posting about like how she was using the products and how she was making an income from it. And I was like, how is she doing this? Like, she's making money and she's using the products that I love. Oh, it's just, okay, we're good. Using the products I love, and she's making money and she's staying home with her girls. And I was like, all right, I play beach volleyball at my school, so I'm ultra busy. And so the fact that she was like making money, staying home on her own time, I was like, how is she doing this? Like, I want to do this too. I have to pay for grad school on my own. So I was like, all right, I don't have time to go into real jobs. Like, I need this. So it was her posting just about the business that really got me. So I think it's awesome that we're talking about posting tonight. So that's kind of how I got started, really just because of her posting and just sharing about the business. But I wasn't fully in. Like, I started and I was posting here and there, but I just like wasn't super consistent. My mindset wasn't totally in the right place. I was like, okay, well, I'm busy. I'm not going to post today, or I'm going to go do homework. I'm busy. Just not fully focused. And I was kind of just treating it like a hobby, and just kind of pushing it off. Last May, I went Ruby, and we ended school, and I was like, all right, I've got free time. I'm going to do this now. So that's kind of, let's see, that's not better. So that's kind of when my mindset shifts in this business, is when I can go for things. And so when I'm in school, it's really a fight to try and get my mindset right. But just throughout kind of April and May is when my mind really shifted and just was like, okay, why can't I just go for this? Like, I need these things and I need this business to work, and I don't have time to go get another job. I got to pay for grad school. So like, why not just go for it and just do the things that I need to do, put my head down and just go to work. So it was really just in April and then in May that I'm just like, all right, I'm just going to do it. I've been more consistent with my posting on my stories, messaging people, and that has been huge for me. Another thing that has helped a ton as well is my self-development too. I hadn't been super consistent at school because I'm like, oh, I've got to do homework. I don't have time to listen to a sermon, or I don't have time to do this. But now that I'm home and COVID's happening, I'm like, all right, I'm going to listen to a sermon right now, or I'm going to listen to a Zoom training or things like that. And that has just helped in my mind so much, and just being like, hey, just go for it. And listening to audiobooks has been awesome for me. So one of the biggest things with my switch was just, I'm going to post every single day. That has always been a hard thing for me, just because I was in a dorm, and dorms aren't typically the cutest. We don't have a lot. So I would constantly like rely on old pictures that I'd taken. So I recycle a ton of pictures. You can go on my Instagram, and I honestly took half of them like a year ago and I've just like used them over and over again. So if you ever have like a cute photo shoot, don't think that you can't just like repost the pictures, because chances are people aren't going to scroll down and be like, she used that picture twice. Like, you can reuse your pictures, because I do it all the time. I also, now that I'm home, I got a tripod, and that has saved my life. It's got a little self-timer. I feel like I can take self-timed pictures all the time. Like Steff was saying, find a good spot with lighting. I always take a picture in front of like my window, and it's great. And then I throw a filter on it. So get a tripod. It will save your life. You can prop it up anywhere. You can make a video of you doing your skincare or making your coffee, and it's super fun. So those are a couple tips there. And what was I gonna say? Oh, okay. So like Steff does too, I love posting on my stories. My stories, if they're not filled for the day, I feel like I did not do my job. So I love posting about my coffee. I'll make my coffee on my stories. I'll put up before and after pictures on my stories. I'll share what I'm doing. I will post pictures about Ryan and all these things, and just tell people about my life and then incorporate the business into my life. So if I always like to do, if I post about my coffee in the morning, I'm going to post about what I'm doing and just me, not the business, like just my life. And then I'll fill it with something with a business opportunity post. So I always like to stagger it so people aren't just like business, business, business. They're still seeing me. And if sometimes I'm like, I haven't done anything, I don't know what to post, but I want to like post about the business opportunity again, I will go onto Pinterest and I will find an inspirational quote, and I will just put that cute picture up there because I want something to fill my story. So that's one of my tips as well. If you don't know what to post, just go onto Pinterest. They have so many cute things that you can literally just be like, inspirational quote, just go for it quote. And you can find so many different things that you can just put up on there. And people, they're super cute. So, and then another thing that Jordan wanted us to talk about is, so one thing that's been huge for me, I have never felt like I've been super good at like making captions or making a post, but I have found a couple leaders that I have loved. I love Cheyenne Knox. I love her page. She's 21, so we're pretty close in age, and so I've loved watching her stories and her posts, and I kind of just I screenshot a lot of her stories. I use those in mine as well, so never feel like you can't screenshot a leader's stories. Like, they put them up there, and of course you can always use them, screenshot them. Half of my stories are like that as well. And then their captions as well. Use their captions too. So find some inspiration from it and just change it up so it sounds like you, make it you. And that's what I do for a lot of mine. So if I see something like, oh, I like how she worded that, I'm going to switch it up so it relates to my story and my thing, but like I got the inspiration from her. And that's honestly how I get a lot of my inspiration for posting. Half the time I'm like, okay, what should I post today? You know what, let me go look at Cheyenne's post she did, and let me kind of switch it up a little bit. It's super helpful. And for me, like, I love Brittany, I love Jordan, but I don't relate to their stories as much just because, like, I'm not a mom, like, I'm a college student. And so my big tip is definitely find a leader that you relate to. So for me, like, it's Cheyenne because she's young, but if it's for you, if it's Brittany or Jordan, like, use their story, but find someone's story that you relate to, because that is going to be so helpful in finding inspiration for your post. So yeah, and then I'm going to screen share right now and kind of show you guys how I make a couple of my posts, how I get some cool fonts on there. So let me try and screen share it. Oh, Jordan, it says only the host can screen share. Can you change that?
Let me see.
Okay.
If not, no worries.
Okay.
We can do it a little bit different. I don't see anywhere.
Does anyone know?
No, I don't see anywhere where I can change it. That's okay. You can just kind of talk about
no
whatever.
Worries. Okay, so one of the things that I love to do is, like, when I make my coffee on my story or something, I made a little video. I will go onto the app Over. I only use the free version of all of the apps, so I don't like to pay for anything. I know some people do, but I always use the free version. So Over is like my favorite. You can use a lot of their free templates, and you can use those to just like get the font. So I'll get rid of the background, I'll get rid of everything, and I'll just use the fonts. And then if you go over to save it, you can literally copy a photo onto Instagram, and like you can just copy it and it'll go over. So that is always so helpful to get like pictures up onto there, and just get cute fonts is one way to do that. Sorry, got people moving around. So that's one thing that I love to do, and I can always just get like a cute font because you can't always use, Instagram doesn't have the best fonts. And then another thing that I also love is Pixar. You kind of just got to play around with it. I love just using the free version of it. I never pay for anything, but if you just play around, they've got a bunch of cool stickers. You can put it before and afters. You can tell your story on there. You can do so many different things with it. So definitely just play around, just try and find what works for you, and just find what's cute for you as well. And then the last thing, how I can write my captions. So there's an app called a website. You literally just search Insta fonts and you'll find so many different fonts that you can use on Instagram. You literally just type in what you want as your caption, copy and paste it over, and then you've got cute fonts on your post. It's super easy. And then the last thing, so I used to just like do a space and then a period and a space and a period, and I just like didn't like the way that worked. So there is a website and it's literally called Instagram Caption Break, and if you just copy and paste your caption into that, you can copy and paste it from that app and it'll put a break in your caption, because if you do enter on Instagram, it'll just like all condense it, and I just don't like the way that looks. So if you use that, it'll just like space it out, makes it clean and look nice. So that's kind of what I like to do on my Insta and just make it cute and everything like that. So yeah.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. I made you a co-host like during it, but I didn't want to interrupt what you were saying.
Do you want me to go and show some of it?
Sure. Yeah. You can. Was there something specific that you wanted to show that you can do quick?
Yeah, I can show really fast how I like copy a picture over to my story, just like the fonts. Okay, let me try screen share, microphone, start recording. Let's see, not yet. Screen, let's see if this will work. Is that working? Can you guys see my screen?
No, I still see you. Oh.
Wait, was that it? Or did I leave? If it's not gonna work.
That just turned off your video. Okay, you're back now.
Okay, if it's not gonna work, let's see, screen share. Stop recording. Okay, I don't know how it's gonna work, so, but anyways, thank you for having me on.
That's totally fine.
I don't know how to get it to work on my phone.
That's okay, no worries. I love those tips that you shared, and I love how you were just open with, you know, maybe you don't relate with like mine and Brittany's stories, and that's completely okay. I love that you pointed that out. Like finding somebody that you relate with most is so important, and it's going to just help you be successful when you can find somebody that, you know, you are inspired by like what they've done in their walk of life and things like that. So thank you so much for sharing that. And then I'm just going to share a couple of last minute tips. Oh yeah, Brittany said caption writer. I was going to throw that in there too. I love caption writer. It is an app and it just like breaks up your paragraphs for you. So I copy it from Facebook, put it into caption writer, and then recopy it from there, and put that in my Instagram to help with like the line breaks too. But yeah, the last thing that I was going to share with you guys is just the importance of editing your pictures. And we've already kind of hit on this a little bit, but I just want to show you guys something that I do. And I think I can show you from my phone. I was going to screen share as well, but we had some technical difficulties. It's totally fine though. So one app that I really like to use, there's different ones out there, and use whatever, you know, fits best for you. I really like Lightroom. I've gotten in a good groove with that. I'm sure you guys have heard of presets that you can get on Lightroom. You can create a preset if you want to, or you can find one that you like for super cheap on like Etsy or Pinterest or whatever. Mine I got for like probably a couple of bucks, and it just makes editing my pictures so much easier. So instead of spending, you know, 30 to 40 minutes on figuring out a picture and getting it just right and editing it and all of those things, having a preset, I can edit a picture in less than 5 minutes and have my post up and be doing something else, like working smarter, not harder. So I'm going to show you guys quickly just how I do that. And when you're editing your pictures and when you're picking your presets, just find something that fits your style. So for my pictures, I wanted something that was bright, something that pops when you look at it. Like I think about posts that make me stop when I'm scrolling my Facebook. I know that that is something that I like a lot. So I wanted to find a good preset and even kind of create a preset that fit like what I like to see. But it's just super important to make sure that your pictures are popping and standing out at people. So when they're scrolling their Facebook or their Instagram, obviously they're seeing post after post after post after post. You want to be the picture that makes them stop their scroll and see what is going on, you know? Even to this day, I still stop my scroll when I see Brittany's pictures because they pop out at me and I'm like, oh, what are her kids doing today? Oh, what is Brittany doing? That's a gorgeous picture, you know, whatever. So just making it pop and giving it that little extra oomph. So I'm gonna show you guys just a raw picture no filter or anything on there. So obviously it's super cute already because that's my daughter and she's the cutest little thing ever. But that is just the raw picture itself. There's no filter on there. There's no, wait, where's my camera? No, nothing on there, okay? So what I'm going to do, I already have a preset that's saved. So in Lightroom, you guys can see at the bottom where it says presets. I'm gonna tap on there. And then I've had to kind of go through a few different ones. Like some of them I would get and I'm like, oh, that doesn't really fit what I want, you know, whatever. So you're gonna see that I have quite a few on here that I've saved, that I've created. And I have a couple that I just go back and forth with each time. So I'm gonna show you guys right here. I have this one saved that I bought the preset and then I edited it a little bit, and then you can save your own preset. So that's kind of how I did this one, but I'm just gonna tap. Let me make sure you guys can see. Okay, it looks super bright on there. So before and after, it's a little bit extra bright on there through the camera. And then what I'm gonna do, so it washes her face out just a little bit, and I wanna be able to see like those details. So what you can do from there is scroll over, and I like to go just kind of play around with the different settings. So you can go in, and what I'm gonna do is just adjust those shadows a little bit. This will be so much easier if I could screen share for you guys instead of having my face all up in the camera, but it's totally fine. Where's shadows? Right there. And then I'm just gonna bring those down a little bit so you guys can see it was up here. And I'm just making those darker colors pop a little bit more. And then for me personally, that's all I have to do with that. Boom, simple. It took an extra 30 seconds trying to find it on the screen to share with you guys, but you can see, like, instead of, if I had started with like the raw picture of that and had to go through and edit everything, you know, click through every single little detail and adjust colors and adjust light and all that, it would have taken me way longer. I could have had my post up and I could have been doing follow-ups or doing messages or doing a post or whatever it is. So I would highly suggest for you guys to have a good, fast system for editing your pictures, and just remembering that all pictures, you know, even if it's the most gorgeous little picture like that one, it can always use that extra little pop just to stand out that much more. You want your pictures to pop when people are scrolling through. And then, so we've talked to you guys about creating those pictures, what you're posting about, business opportunity, products, all of those things. So the last thing that you guys need to go from here and go do your post is just creating that caption like Kayla was talking about. And I wanted to just give you guys a quick little, what's the word I'm looking for? A quick little equation, I guess it is, of a simple way to do your post, whether this is about products or whether it's about business. I heard another top leader say this recently, and I loved it. So she said, when you are making your post, so we'll just use a business post right now, you're going to think about, first, what are you loving? If you guys want to write these down. Second, what are you pushing for? And then third, what are you excited about? So what that could look like, if you're doing a business post, you could say something like, oh, I'm loving so much that I'm getting to be home with my kids right now. I'm pushing for such a big promotion this month. You know, pushing to help so many other families on my team, and I'm so excited for what's coming, yada, yada, yada. So you're kind of getting those 3 points in there. What are you loving? What are you pushing for? What are you excited about? And if you're brand new in the business, this works for everybody, because you can talk about what you're loving right now is that you're getting to make an extra income from your phone. And what are you pushing for? Maybe you're pushing for your shopping spree. You can talk about that as well. I'm so excited that I get to make an extra income from my phone. I'm pushing so hard right now to earn a product shopping spree. I'm so excited to try new products, yada, yada, yada. So you can use that for either one, business or products. You can talk about how you're loving your coffee right now, and that you are, you know, what it's doing for you and why you're so excited about it, and just pulling those people in. And that's it. So hopefully you guys got some good tips from this tonight. I'm so thankful for Steff and Kayla getting on and sharing. And I want you guys to get off of this, get some good sleep, wake up tomorrow morning and crush out month end. You guys have the perfect recipe for doing the greatest posts possible, business, products, personal, all of those things. So make sure you use it. be excited and just bust through the end of the month, and don't stop there. Keep going on, keep pushing forward, and keep that momentum going and that consistency. And I can't wait to just hear and see how this is helping all of you guys. So thank you guys. I hope you'll have an awesome night. Bye.